During a podcast interview last week, and I'm not sure if the podcast interview happened before or after George Santos was indicted on 13 different counts. I think it actually happened after, but I'm not 100% sure. But Santos pretended that he doesn't quite know why people hate him. But he has some theories, none of which have to do with any of the alleged crimes that he has committed, and none of the reasons people hate him have anything to do with the non-stop fire hose of lies that he has been telling for many, many years. Instead, George Santos said that people hate him for the following reason. I'm like a regular person that just contradicts a lot of the isms and narratives out there, and it pisses people off both on the right and on the left. I make no excuses for that. I think that's a superpower. I was already always going to be a nuisance just for the simple fact that I went against the grain. Yeah, that's exactly why I dislike you, George. It's not about the, puppy money stealing scheme. It's not about the money laundering or the giving false statements on your financial disclosures. It's not the credit card skimming scheme. It's not the stealing checks from an elderly man in Brazil. It's not lying about your parents or grandparents being in the Holocaust, lying about your mom being at 9/11. It's none of that. It's because, that bastard, he goes against the grain. Now, let's make it clear here. People on both the right and left, as he pointed out, do in fact hate George Santos. And they hate him for all of those reasons that I just listed and more. Okay? Nobody in this country is like, you know what, George Santos would be great if it weren't for the fact that he goes against the grain. I have never heard anybody on conservative media, in leftist media, say that George Santos goes against the grain. Like, literally, what have you done since coming to Washington, D.C. that has, quote, gone against the grain? You've done nothing, by the way. You've sponsored a couple bills, one of them to make the AR-15 the national gun of the United States, another that would actually crack down on unemployment fraud, which is one of the things that you were actually indicted for, none of which, by the way, is going against the grain. Okay, you're not some kind of outsider here. You're not some person rejecting corporate money and challenging the status quo. You've done none of that. We do have members of Congress, both the House and Senate, who do those things. But you are not one of them. You are not rejecting corporate money, which of course is going against the grain. You are not challenging the powers that be, which would be going against the grain. You are not, in the words of conservatives, draining the swamp or exposing the deep state. You're sitting there in Congress, running away from reporters, and now, of course, sitting under indictment. You're not going against the grain, dude. You know why people hate you. You know why they do not trust you. You know why we all dislike you. But once again, you are fundamentally incapable of actually telling the truth, so you'd rather go out there and lie about why people hate you rather than admitting that people hate you because of the lies. This is Hattie. Hattie wants to know why you have not subscribed to our channel. You obviously like our videos, so do us a favor and subscribe.